Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami Ntando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyaye sibuka ama-reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese size la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senza ama-reviews ama-recaps bese siyaphinda-ke futhi sikhulume ngama-celebrities kanye nama-YouTubers ethu ala eMzansi. If it's your first time joining us today and you really like our content, ungakhohlwa ukuthi upresse subscribe button la ngezansi uphinde upresse i-notification bell so that we can get ama-notifications uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Guys, there's a join button for those who want to join as members. There's a thanks button mawufuna ukunikela ngemali kwi-channel and siyayithanda ke imali. Okay, thank you so much to everybody that watches ama-adverts kule channel nalaba sebejoinile as members kule channel. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about Macg podcast and chill, you guys. Of course, there was that episode that people are still upset about. I do watch the podcast and chill. I think it's one of the best podcasts we have in the country, but I do not watch every single episode. Usually I watch ukuthi bazobe interviewer bani or ngiyibuke and see what is it interesting for me that day and I watch. So but I like a podcast, you guys. I consider myself a chiller. And yes, you guys, but vele siyazi ukuthi kwi-podcast a lot of the times you have to imagine that my eyes are my ears, ne? Because I can't move my ears. You have to watch a podcast like this sometimes. Because what I mean by that is like sometimes you have to ignore certain things that they say, more especially Macg, to be able to watch it, because sometimes you're like, I got the Macg now. Yabona ke le show la. He can say some really offensive things, you guys. And I thought to people that are really like loyal chillers that watch every single episode that they post there. Watch it with that understanding. And Macg vele sometimes he's just out of line and they accept that and they seem to not have a problem with it. I thought that that's how the chillers are like when it comes to his internet. Macg does and says sometimes, because he said some things, you guys, that are out of line, and sometimes a lot of the times it's not about the people that he works with, it's about celebrities, like people that are not part of the show, and it's usually someone that is not on the show at the time. He seems to manage to be respectful to somebody that is a guest, but he's always going to say something about somebody that is not there. We know that. So my understanding of the chillers was that there is something that they just accept with Macg and they would defend Macg no matter what. But I'm learning with this one that it's not the case, you guys. Of course, they had the episode seemed to have gone well until a certain point where Macg decided that he was bored with the topics that other colleagues were trying to discuss on the show, you guys. And for me, it is a clear indication that people love the podcast not just because they love Macg, but I think that they love the combination of all of them. They like Macg, but they also like the presence ka Soul. They do like a presence ka Ghost Lady and whoever is a fact checker, because I think they have changed or fact checker a number of times, but they seem to like that combination, and they would fight for the show as a whole. So when people are attacking the podcast and chill, the chillers will fight and defend the show. But it is clear, it has become clear to me that as well they will fight for the individuals on the show. So it's not just that they will defend Macg, but they will defend Soul, they will defend Ghost Lady, they will defend other people that are there, because there is a number of people that are there, some that we don't get to see. And this time it was complicated because what was being done and said by Macg, he was being disrespectful, you guys. When somebody is trying to speak and you're not trying to hear what they have to say, and you are in the show where you are supposed to let people speak and listen to what they have to say, and you even go as far as saying whatever that they're discussing is boring. It is disrespectful to say that, you guys. And I guess it got complicated for the chillers because yes, they do love Macg, but they also love Ghost Lady, and they took a stance to defend the other colleagues Zika Macg, to say that is not a way to speak to your colleague, and we will not accept it. This is not what the show is about. Guys, sometimes when your show is too big, like it gets to a point where your viewers will tell you what your They will tell you what your podcast is about. They will tell you this podcast is not about that when it belongs to you. This is what is happening to Macg. The chillers are telling him, listen, this is not what the podcast is about. This is not a good representation of the podcast. We're not happy about it. You were disrespectful to your employees, and they are demanding an apology, you guys. Everywhere that Macg is posting, they are demanding an apology. We're going to go through a few of the comments that they've made on the community post of the podcast. I am not sure, you guys, if Macg is the one that posts or the other staff members do post on the community post. So I'm not even sure that he is seeing the demand for the apology. But also when the show, when the episode was premiering, people started talking about the fact that he was wrong in what he said and in how he treated the employees. But right after that, there is a community post there. I think they are advertising a birthday celebration, and there is a poster that he posted on the community post, and or whoever is posted on the community post, you guys. And he was saying people must say if they are coming to this event, and also say how many people they are coming with. And if you look at the comment section there, you guys, it's like everybody there is talking about how they are still waiting for an apology. There's one viewer that says we want an apology for Monday's episode, and then another one said apologize to the chillers. I've been watching since you had 30k subs and I've never been so disappointed. You have to respect your employees and guests, or the ship will sink. And then there's another one. It says, we are starting to see what commercial radio saw in him. He was out of line. Ghosty was so mad. Listen, it was the first time also that, because I always feel like, I admire Ghost Lady to be able to handle that room which has such man energy in it, because sometimes they could be so stupid in the things that they say. For her to be able to handle that room, I always admire her for that. But really, she sounded like she was pissed off, and she was getting frustrated too by what Macg was doing. And another one says, we want a public apology, bro. You humiliated your guests and crew members. The Monday episode was a real SHIT no. Apologize for ruining Monday's episode. Okay, all of the comments under that community post are basically just saying the same thing. We're not interested in anything that you're doing right now. All we want is an apology. A few hours later, they do repost that poster again with the celebration. And then it says, the caption says, who are you excited to see? And under that community post as well, people are saying the same thing. One viewer says, I can't think anyone right now, but one says, but I expect to see great show every day. I guess this one is forgiving of the Monday episode. And then the other one says, we are still waiting for the for Monday's apology. And then another one say, allowing others to talk, Macg, behaving like a spoiled brat. And then this one is also forgiving because they're like Casper Nyovest, but we still want an apology. And then another one says, apologize for Monday's episode first, you guys. And the thing about it is that I really honestly don't know if Macg is seeing Lama comments lawa, or someone that administers the account on YouTube is the only one that sees it. So maybe she doesn't know how much of the comments are coming in demanding the apology. But it is very clear that the chillers are not playing. They're not playing at all. They want their apology, you guys. There is a question on why that episode actually ended up being posted, because obviously it was clear that it didn't go as well. And people are saying that there is a possibility that Macg wanted to create a controversy, because why would he approve for the episode to be posted? I am of the view that if Macg didn't see anything wrong with saying what he said on the show, he probably is not going to see anything wrong with posting the episode. I think the people that should have seen that the episode was not really a good one to post should have been the people that actually post the episode, whether it's Ghost Lady or whoever. Some people are saying it is Ghost Lady. She should have seen that this was not a good episode to post. However, you guys, I feel like part of it might be because maybe that is how they are treated on the podcast behind the cameras. It could be that that's how they're treated behind the cameras, and maybe she saw the opportunity to show people really how it's like, because it must be frustrating to work with somebody that can do that to you in a space where you are working. Maybe they saw an opportunity to show the public or show the chillers how he behaves sometimes, and maybe if he gets that feedback, and they're hoping that he will change, because honestly I don't think that it's one person's decision on which episode is posted and which episode is not posted. But I feel like it was an opportunity for them to show the public that this is what actually happens in their space when they are working. Anyway, you guys, whether Macg might issue an apology, I think maybe because of the pressure he might, but I don't know honestly if he understands what really upset the people, and that is really like genuinely my concern, that he might apologize without genuinely understanding what people are complaining about. And if he does not understand it, then there is a possibility that he will repeat it, you guys. And I'm just hoping that nothing really affects Ilokuzane podcast in a negative way, in such a way that people stop watching it or whatever, because I think they've got something good there. They've got things that they can fix moving forward. But I think it really is a good podcast, you guys. But anyway, tell me what you think about this whole issue in the comment section. Please like the video before Pumegyona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando kakhulu.